You can check out all the episodes of The Table of Truth on our website, www.tableoftruth.com.
And I know,
We should have recorded that little plan so we can tell people that we actually we eat the fucking Care Bears all the time.
I think
King Kunta.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Table of the Truth. This is your man Cam. With me as always is...
What up? It's your boy King Popa. What's going on?
Next.
Yo, what up, guys? Blackity Black, Nick Black, Black Dwayne.
And last but not
King
least...
Kunta.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Ant. Boring as usual.
Worse. Yo, how you come up with so much crazy shit, yo, and you can never come up with a good name, yo.
Because I'm like a car engine. I got to warm up, man. I can't just turn on and just start going. I got to take a while for me, Pope. You got to warm me. I got to get warmed up. I don't jump off top, so. What up, y'all? This is it, man. Get more as we go on.
Let them know.
We're back for another exciting edition of the Table of Truth.
Yo, we won away from 100, man. Episode 99.
About to get
That
that
only took us
syndication
like
money.
5 years.
What up?
Yeah, it did take about 5 years. But we here, y'all.
Mark Maron
Let
has
me not
like
say we're not
600
at 100 yet.
Yeah, but we're back.
I guess
What happened?
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar just dropped his album a week early. Everybody listened to it. Wait, Ant, did you listen to it?
Yes, I listened to the album. I'm 80% done, but yes, I listened to the album.
Son, come on, man.
80%.
That's why I asked first.
I said 80. I said 80% because I skipped 2 songs. I didn't like 2 songs, so I skipped 2 songs.
What song you skip, yo?
I'll tell you right now. I don't know the names by heart. I'll tell you right now.
The way you just heard him and skip. You're not talking about the interlude, right?
No. I heard the album. Let me see. But here's the thing. I heard the album, but I didn't listen to the album. Like, really soak it in. I soaked it in, but I got it. It just came out today, so it's hard to make a quick judgment, but I will make some type of judgment.
I kind of get that.
That was the best review ever.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping an eye. Let me see. What album? Which one did I skip?
I guarantee it's the interludes.
Probably King Kunta.
Some of the best parts too, yo.
I don't like that song with Snoop. I like it, but it wasn't like one of my favorites.
Was that institutionalized?
That's
That shit was dope.
yeah, institutionalized. Yeah,
That's
I have to that one. But the best song I like is All Right. I like Mama. There's a few songs that's retarded on this album.
No, overall, I liked it, man. It was I call it fun.
You called it fun? You said?
Yeah, I thought it was a fun album.
Yeah,
it's like funk, man.
I don't get fun from the album at all, yo.
Not at all. It sounded like he wanted to reunite the Black Panthers when I was listening to that.
Word. While I was listening to it, a leather jacket and a fucking beret just came on me from nowhere. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is this joint, yo? That joint is not. I don't like a fun album. When I hear fun album, I think like Fresh Prince and the Jazzy Jeff. Like that's a fun album. Like you want to go listen to it with your family. People is barbecuing over your beats and shit. People are cracking beers. I don't get that with this shit, yo.
So what you think about the album, Pope?
I love the album, yo.
See,
I think.
Go ahead.
I love it. I listened to it like 4 times today, yo.
I feel like it's one of those albums you have to listen to like 20 times. Like I get what he's saying, but I don't get it. It's like I'm like, I don't know, man. I gotta really soak it in. Like the album, I feel like it's an album that you have to listen to a bunch of times to kind of grow on you. It's not something like you take. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it's not an album where if you want to hear like hot beats and like just menacing bars, like I feel like it has a lot more substance than what we normally listen to. So I listen to it. I can't make a judgment yet. I feel like I have to listen to it a couple more times. Like, remember when you guys made me review Kanye's album Yeezus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I went out drinking and had it on my way home playing in my headphones. I was like, I'm not reviewing this album because it's terrible. So I sat with it over the weekend, and then I was like, oh, like I just started breaking down stuff. I started listening a bit more, and I was like, okay, I get the album. Like I was like, this is a average album. It's above average compared to what I initially thought. So that's the reason why I'm reserving judgment from me. Like I know people who say they love it already. I know people who say they hate it. I feel like it's one of those albums where you have to give it time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
that's
agree.
good. I think it's one of those
And
things
that's the
where
problem what they say though. Oh, my fault. I'm sorry,
no, it's
Ken.
one of those things where like one, there's no discernible single, which is kind of like Mad City. Two, he doesn't sound like anything else that's out right now, especially on the radio, which is dope.
Yeah.
And then also, I like that he just he had like a certain message that he wanted to get out, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it. He kind of just ran with it. Like everybody was making the Black Power jokes and like everything makes you want to riot or start a revolution and all that kind of stuff. But like when I was talking about the fun part of it, I just liked that it was upbeat and a lot of it had that like G-Funk era type feel to it in almost every track. And like he really was just kind of pushing that, and like there's a lot of horns, there's a lot of like almost like spoken word jazzy type stuff. Like it's really not your typical rap album of like 2014-15 right now.
Not at all. Like, yeah, that's what I was saying before. I'm like, I felt like he pushed the envelope, like how like Andre 3000 did when he released his album back in the days.
What,
Like,
Love Below?
yeah, like I feel like it's something where it makes hip hop overall better because when somebody else tries to do it next time, they're gonna be like, all right, like people might give it a listen. But you can't really copycat that. I think this is something organically that's coming out of Kendrick.
But I do know one thing. This album's finally gonna make people listen. Just no more, like you said, these quick little club beats, catchy tunes. Now
You gotta
have
listen to the whole thing. Yeah.
and listen to the whole thing. No, then now this is what a rap album is about. You can sit back and digest it instead of going on to the next album. So hopefully, this album does that.
Hopefully, yeah. I hope you're right too. But the thing is, for me, when I listen to music, like Dwayne knows, like I listen to the feel, the vibe. I feel like the energy from it when I listen to the album for the first couple times. I don't really get into the lyrics until like maybe like the 6th or 7th listen. But like this stuff he said in it that stands out. Like you're talking about how people don't listen to the lyrics and how people always talk about, yo, I miss old hip hop. How I want a lyricist now. He was like, yo, if that's the case, why isn't Big Mike fucking platinum?
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, like why he's not platinum? And that dude is lyrical out the ass, yo.
He is, and he's also political too.
So it just shows how hypocritical people really are. A lot of people just say shit for the sake of saying it. And that's the thing I really like about his album, that he's actually saying something with the music.
Oh, I wouldn't even say. I would just say more than that. Educated enough to know what's going on as far as the Big Mike and all that. I would just say that.
Killer Mike.
Big Mike, Killer Mike.
That's when you know you messed up. Yo, Mikey Mike. Butter Mike.
Yo, Killer
Big
Mike.
Mike.
I don't got none of your albums, Killer Mike. Shit.
Yo, he's one of my favorite rappers, man.
He's not whack. He's not whack. I just don't got none of his albums on.
Yeah, I gotta go back. I gotta bump it again. Like I ran into Black. He was listening to it today, and he's like, same thing I'm saying. He was like, yo, I gotta kind of listen to it. But I was telling him, I'm like, did you get into what is it? Yeah, what is it? Good Kid.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah. And he was like, nah, not at first. And I know a lot of people did it. Anthony, you were a prime example of that. You were like,
Yeah.
yo, I don't know, there's no club track on this. So I feel like it's one of those albums where you have to play it again, and let it grow on you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Nah, that's how album's supposed to be, though.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't have to like it. That's the thing. To each his own.
You know what it is? It's let's compare it to movies. It's not an action flick. It's a drama.
Yeah.
Like you have to sit back. Like the opening scene's not gonna blow you away. It's something where it's gonna build and grow on you. That's how I view the album.
Yeah.
But the first two songs off top had me hyped. Like the way how it started, it jumps you in immediately as soon as you hit play. That's how I took it when I first heard the album. I'm like, oh shit, he already sucked me in already. So now I really want to like listen. Jesus Christ, pause.
Jesus
Yo.
can't save you.
I'm out
You
there.
don't believe in it.
Yo, that's it. I gotta make an announcement on this Porsche because I find myself saying pause on my son, everything. Yeah.
Daddy loves you. Pause. What am I doing?
I just want to kiss your cheeks, pause, daddy. Like I can't even be friendly to my child no more with this poor shit. Yeah. I gotta make an announcement. I can't deal with this no more. Cause I be saying I ain't gonna lie, I catch myself like, damn, I can't say this when I type. Like, oh, delete. This is crazy. Yeah. Tired of this, man.
But yo, do you feel like this Kendrick has always been this type of dude? Because I feel like he's Tupac 2.0 right now.
Yo, D, this album is so different from his first one. Yeah, it's like he's on some revolution.
Yo,
Yeah.
it's an album where I can't see white people repeating the lyrics unless they want to fight. Like some of the tracks is like, yo, like they can't really relate to it too. Like some of the stuff he's saying.
Yo, I was talking to my friend who's his girl is white.
Yeah.
And he was like, she listened to it a couple times today, and she said it was okay. I'm like, yo, this album's too black for her. She's
No, you know what's funny? All the Kendrick fans, now we're really going to see who really listens to an album. Because for somebody to say album is whack in one day, to hearing it, like, come on, you really have to like listen to this album. There's no way you can say it's flat out whack unless you tell me every lyric word for word and the meaning. And if you can't, then I think people just maybe they're not hearing to a good beat or it's boring. But this album right here with Kendrick, this is some like for hardcore fans. Like this ain't for the typical somebody who's on the radio, airplay, none of that. So,
but on top of that, it had this drink where it's on both ends. Like there are people are saying that it's whack, and there's other people are saying it's a classic. And it's just like, yo, you haven't even given it a chance to let it marinate on you yet, and you're already putting it up in the upper echelon, you know?
Yeah, I can't do that, man.
Yeah, plus I like that the whole like he's like, oh, my announced date is this day, and then he drops it a week early, and then once again making people actually care about albums now. And I like that even the two singles that he dropped, people are already kind of iffy, like, oh, they're not really that dope. And then, you know, this album comes out now. It's either classic, like you said, or it's, oh, this is whack. So it's interesting that at least people now actually care and like listen to the whole thing because, you know, they weren't predisposed beforehand, like piecemeal. Like he had two singles, but they weren't like, you know, like radio singles. This is all more on the underground, and people are really feeling Black of the Berry. Some people didn't like the they're like, oh, he's trying to be on some like funk stuff or whatever. So it's interesting to see the different, like when it has such parallel like opinions. That's when you at least you know something's like worth talking about and is on its way to being really dope.
Yeah. I just want people. Sorry, cut you. I just want to just listen to the album and don't judge it, because now we're gonna know. Like I said before, people who's educated, a lot of people are gonna say it's whack just because they just don't know what the hell he's talking about. Period. And I hope that's not the case when people say this album is whack just because you can't understand it. You got to go online and download what the hell he said and read it. By all means, do it. Nah, I'm serious.
No, yo, and I'm in that boat right now. Some of the things he said.
Same here.
I was like,
about to do that.
I was like, wait, what is he talking about? But like Pope was saying earlier, I think artistically, this album is amazing. That's what I can say. I feel like this is something where it's groundbreaking, at least for hip hop. Like no one does like this anymore.
Yeah.
Which is what I love about it.
The thing is, like, people don't make albums anymore. They make singles.
Yep.
And they put them in a package.
You cannot break this album up. You have to take all 16 or whatever tracks it is. You can't. Yeah, it's collectively it's one entity, I should say.
Yeah, it's one piece was a whole. Like we're talking about last time. Like last year, only 3 albums actually went platinum. A bunch of singles went platinum, but not a full album. So I'm gonna be curious to see what they cherry pick to be the singles off this on the radio. Because even with Mad City, Swimming Pools and Poetic Justice aren't your typical singles, but they turned them into singles. So we'll see what happens. You might actually change the single game once again.
But for an album like this, there better be 1 or 2 songs in here that people say, yo, this is on some movement type.
The Black of the Berry shut down the internet for like 2 days, man.
So when it comes for awards and everything, if he doesn't get anything, like I'm gonna start scratching my head. Like, what does it take to get accolades and acknowledgments?
He got Grammys for I believe.
Oh yeah, nominated.
He got a Grammy for that.
Yeah, but he actually won.
Nah,
I thought
he won.
I won.
I thought he won for that.
dope.
Oh, let's Google it.
Yeah, Google
Google.
But yeah, it's
I am
also
curious to see if the young generation is going to really embrace his album and like really break it down and so understand what is he talking about and not just say, oh, this ain't got no hot beats. Kendrick fell off. He's on some stupid shit instead of just listening to his actual music.
I don't know,
So
man. Ray Smurd got that
They
song
all
about
say that,
strippers.
man. Yeah. With the flicker the wrist.
They're talking about
I
stripper
was
on a
culture, man. It's
Tuesday.
different.
I'm
It's different.
rolling through the 6 in my whoa. You know how that go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This album, I don't know. Maybe it resonates with me, man. And the more I dig into it, the more I get attached to it. This shit is fucking dope to me. And I know you haven't listened to the whole album, but like to me, that Moto Man shit, the last track on the album is super dope. And the way he ended it, I wasn't expecting that to happen, yo. And it's almost like a spoiler. Like I don't even want to say it because you haven't even seen it, yo.
How you have spoilers for a song, dude?
Or it's gonna be another college chorus album, yo. That's what it sounds like.
Shit, that last track was like seeing Kaiser Sose or finding out Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. Like the drink, I wasn't expecting it at all, and it blew me away. And I was just like, "What is that?" Wow! Like I was shocked by it. I don't know how anybody else reacted to it, but that was like the cherry on top for me, yo.
You know how that go.
So this is going down as the album of the year already.
They were only at March, man.
Well, so far, right, is what you're asking?
Yeah. So
And
what
say,
album, this is the album of the year right here.
I mean, what else has come out to be even classified in this? Because
Well,
J.
I
Cole-
put it this way: Drake and J. Cole album. There's no comparison. You have those.
wait, J. Cole came out this year or end of last year?
No. J. Cole came out December, I think, of last year.
Yeah, it was December, and then Drake was what last month or last week?
Yeah, like
2 weeks
February
ago.
something. No, it was like in February.
Yeah, it was-
February.
The crazy thing for Drake's album is like every single on there was in the top Billboard at one time. It's kind of crazy.
Ain't nothing else out.
Like that hasn't happened since the Beatles, which is insane.
But I feel like that's different though, because you dealing with iTunes now.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
like the Beatles, people had to go to the store and get it. Like you're
Yeah.
buying an entire album, so I think that's why he got the benefit of the doubt with that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I imagine Mike and Beatles on iTunes. Forget it.
I can't really comment on Drake's album because I didn't listen to it. To be honest with you, I listened to like the first couple tracks and I shut it off.
Well,
It's alright.
I can't do that singing, man. I can't do singing
That's what
rap.
you should do.
Not,
Like,
not,
no,
not a whole album.
break it down to like singing and then hip hop. Like, no, I'm listening to one track vibing, then the next track is like, ooh. You're like, yo,
Word.
how you switch it up with me like that?
Yeah, you go from Smokey Robinson to DMX. Like, I can't. Yeah, it's messing with me, man.
Yo, for real, I would love to hear a song with Smokey Robinson and DMX on it, yo.
Yo, Cam, get your spinning.
I'll leave hip hop altogether if I see that combination. Smokey Robinson and DMX. That's not even supposed to even make sense. That's
Yeah, like
That's
time
not
top.
supposed to happen.
They cannot be in the same
My girl and my dog, yo. Come on, put it together, yo.
Get him, Smokey.
way.
Get him, Smokey. Dude, that needs to be a tour. That'd be
I ain't gonna
awesome.
lie though. His hooks will be off the hook though. Smokey singing a hook.
Make it happen, Ant. Yo,
Make it
Cam.
happen.
Yo, Cam, make the Smokey and DMX album, yo, and mix them together, yo.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, that is your task.
Mix it, kid.
It's
I
too
give you
much,
3
dude.
songs for Smokey. Remix it, yo.
That's a white album right there.
I'm telling you, it's dope, yo. I
Matter of
guarantee
fact-
if you can pull that off, you get fame right there, yo.
Matter of fact, chill, because Smokey Robinson, I think he's a vampire, so leave
Word.
that alone. He might. He's like he like another demon. You can leave him
Yeah,
alone.
he's mad light skin and his
Vampire
eyes
and
like
doggy
red.
biscuits.
He don't age, man. Leave Smokey alone, yo.
Or
He's like
leave
in his
Wesker
80s now,
alone.
right? Something like that.
That's good.
Been around. He's been singing since the 50s, man. ladies are still throwing panties at him. Like,
True.
No, they not.
Ladies throwing panties at Smokey. I don't know what age they throwing it, but they throwing panties. Yo.
Like the 60
Ain't
year
no,
olds.
ain't no dongs. I tell you that. There's some
That's
grandma
good.
panties going out there.
You see him lately?
I see Smokey Lady on YouTube. He like a demon.
Damn,
He's
he's
like-
75.
He's like
75.
Nosferatu with a Jerry curl wig.
I hope that's not me, man. I hope I don't have a hairstyle and I'm like 70 and I don't give it up. Like, yo, who's that old man with a mohawk?
That's cock out, B.
Just let it
Yeah,
go,
but
man.
but I don't want to be normal. Can't be walking around with a Caesar. We'll see.
You gotta let that shit go, B.
It's like LeBron, man. He gotta let it go. It's just not cool.
Yo, he's not playing with a headband anymore.
Yeah, he got a fade now. He got the fade now.
Yeah.
Got little patches in there. It's all right.
I think they got destroyed tonight too
Yeah, they former team.
by Miami, his old team, thankfully.
Wait, did you guys watch the game last week with San Antonio?
Did I?
Yeah,
That
Thursday.
shit
Yeah,
was
they watched
bananas,
that game.
man. That was probably one of the best NBA games I've seen in a long time.
Kevin Love might as well be me. I'm out to take his place.
I feel bad for the dude, man.
Yo.
He actually has a game.
Oh, dude.
He gets no minutes, no nothing. Like, damn, Love, you get no love, man.
He was straight invisible the whole game. Like, he would be in there and no one even cared.
That's the thing. Like when you're good on a bad team and then you come to a good team, it's just like it makes you scratch your head. Like, all right, like you could drop 40 when you're playing with a team that's not making the playoffs, but you kind of want them to step up, but they don't run any plays for the kid.
Yeah, they don't really care about him at all. Like, they just he was literally there. Like, I'm ZJing watching the game. They're down by like 25, 30. I blinked and they're only down by 5, and then it was tied and it was overtime. It was an amazing game.
Wait, this is the second season, right?
What?
Kevin Love?
This is first.
Was it first
This
season?
is first season.
What?
This
Season?
No, at the
on
Cavs.
the Cavs. On the
Oh.
Cavs.
Okay.
This is his first and last on the Cavs. I don't think he's gonna win it because I don't think he fits in the system. Because Kyrie Irving, he's good, but he is a nut. Pause. I don't even know if that's pause anymore.
Got you scared to talk.
Got me
Yo,
scared to talk now.
Ed can't even talk pause. But anyways, what else said pause.
Yeah, but Kyrie Irving, he shoots a lot of basketball, so
What?
Pause.
actually, I wanted to say he shoots a lot of balls, but
Pause.
I can't even say that.
We now return you to the Table of Truth, already in progress.
Your Damon Dash looks so fed.
Yo, you still trying to download this?
I got it already.
What? The Damon Dash interview?
David Dash looks tight.
Straight Nick, yo. Yo,
Yo, son.
they said to look up Damon Dash. They said Nas was in the clip.
I been had the damn video ready, man.
Whatever. You was like, Nas, make fun of Damon Dash?
Somebody said, yo, Nas got that David Dash. So I said, yo, what? Y'all didn't tell me Breakfast Club.
No, and I just said Dame Dummy. And he was like, who said that? I'm like, Nas, from Ether like 90 years ago.
From 2001.
Word.
I'm
Damn,
thinking
it's been a lot
that's
long.
from an interview. That's why I said what I said. That he said some shit recent.
Yo, Ant, let me ask you a question, yo. Do you even look at the internet, yo?
I'm sorry.
Interweb.
Do you even look at the internet, yo?
That's when you know he heard you. Pardon me?
Huh?
Pardon me?
Huh?
I'm playing
What?
right now. I can't hear you.
Yo, Ant, too late to watch the video, man. We're recording.
I know. I'm just playing.
No, you not. Just watch the video while Cam's fixing the thing.
No, the video's an hour.
Nah, just watch the clip.
No, we're already recorded, man. That's all recorded.
We back live?
Yeah, we're back on. The Dame Dash interview on the Breakfast Club with Envy, Charlamagne, and Angela Yee. That shit was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I think I watched it on Saturday. I think that was the longest interview they probably ever had.
Probably because they usually do what, like
This is
20
like
minutes?
almost.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, if it's kind of like a nobody, it's from like 12 minutes to 20. If it's somebody that's kind of known, 20 to 30, and then normally 30 and up is for like people we want to kind of listen to and see what's
Yeah,
up.
because Kanye was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they try to stay longer with those people.
No, I thought it was dope. That was really good. I mean, that we're talking about in the other chat, like Dame has a very specific viewpoint of business and how like a man should conduct himself and legacy and stuff, and it's contrary to like what Envy does. And I think that's what Envy was getting kind of tight about, because he was basically Dame was pretty much shitting on everything that Envy's been doing recently right now.
Basically, that's what he was on. And it's fucked up. I mean, I like some of the stuff that Dame was talking about. And honestly, it just comes down to his message was strong. It's a positive, strong handshake, yo. But it's the punch that he threw the handshake with it's fucking up. Like the delivery of the message makes it bad, yo.
True. But I think it's better that way because then people actually will talk about it and actually remember. Because I think if he was like
yeah,
really softballing it, it would have been no one would have cared. But he was like literally like, "Yo, can you get fired? Yes, that means you're a slave. You own your own shit."
yeah.
Like he
You're,
was hitting people in the gut, you know?
you're right. Because when Evie tried to bring up little Tyrone, he was like, no, 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 no. Let's talk about you. Like he tried to make it personal, like Cam said, to get the point across. And I agree with his message, man. Like the people who are gonna be bosses, they take heed to what he was saying, and he's talking to us. He's like, yo, if you want to be a boss, then you got to stop working for quote unquote the man. Like you gotta believe in ownership. And he's right. He's like, yo, I guarantee the people who run this station, they're not waking up at like 4 a.m. in the morning to get over here,
Hell no.
but you are. You making them that money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's 100% right. Like I don't see anything that he said was wrong.
I mean,
Like,
but yeah,
when it comes across with that message, though, is what I'm saying.
but who? At the end of the day, ain't none of us here gonna have the same money as Viacom and all these big labels, Disney. So at the end of the day, what you want us to do, you got to work for somebody at this point.
No,
You can have your own.
I'm not trying to be as rich as Viacom, man. Like that's a monopoly over there. That's something else. Like in terms of being comfortable and taking care of your family and your next generation, that's something that you strive for.
Yeah,
Like, again,
I think also for him, he was looking at like Dame thinks very globally. Like he thinks very large and big, and that's what he was talking about the whole radio station. He was just like, yeah, you have to wake up at 4 a.m., come in here or go to work. Somebody that's not you can fire you for not showing up to work or something like that. And that's why he was like, yo, you have no ownership of you have no stake into what you're doing. Like you have no skin in the game, maybe he was saying. But also he was like, why don't you make your own radio station? Why don't you do your own thing? And I see where Envy was coming at, because Envy was like, well, he has stock in Hot 97 now. Like he think he actually invested in stuff like that. That's what Envy was trying to get across. Like I actually have parts ownership. Yeah, he wasn't just like a regular owner. But what Dame was kind of hitting at was like, that's cool, but you're not a majority, dude. Like you're not like a CEO level. You're still like a drone, and that's the thing that Dame kept hitting at. It was like, that's cool that you're your little level that you're at, but if you really want to, have something for your son and legacy and all that, you got to create your own thing, and that's the old school like 10s and 20s and 30s, like the Rockefellers and all that. That was their mentality. Let me build something so big that my kids could eat off of it after I'm gone.
But at one point, is it a congratulations for doing what you're doing now as far as your success? Granted, he doesn't own 105, but he is one of the major, employees on that station. That's an accomplishment within itself.
I put it like this, man. This is one of the things he said to him was like, yeah, all right, you own stock, you're part of this, right? You own a part of it. He was like, yeah, but can you decide right now to give your son a job if he comes to you tomorrow and say he wants a job? And Envy was like, nah, I can't do that. He's like, can you make a decision of who's going to air tomorrow? He's like, nah, I can't do that. So you're a part owner, but you're not really an owner. It's a partnership. It's like when Jay was quote unquote, owned the Nets. He had 2.5% of what was going on. Like he was at the meetings, but he couldn't really make big moves. Like he can make his voice heard. He had more power, like talking to other people than he actually could wield. And that's what he was trying to explain.
Yeah, and it's even with like a good example is what's happening over at Hot 97, where Ebro was behind the scenes for a very long time, almost like 10 years as a programming director. That's a lot of power, but he chose to give up that job to be on the front to get more of the fame and almost the glossy part of the radio life, which is interesting to me because it's like you took a position of power behind the scenes, left that so you could be in front of the mic. It's almost like, to me, it's like it's more for the ego base. Like you probably had more like pull and power behind the scenes. Now you're in front, but you probably have less power because he had to give up the job as a program director to be on the air.
All right, can Damon Dash make this statement though? So an athlete who's making $25 million for somebody who's making $10 billion?
Because if you really think about it, in the scenario that Dame is creating, like that athlete makes $25 million a year, but he doesn't have direct influence over who's going to play tomorrow. He can't sign players to the team. He can't he can't fire the coach if he wants to. He can't do this. He can request that stuff. He can say, I don't like that dude, but he can't just wave his pen and take somebody out of the conversation.
Yeah, and that goes back to what Chris Rock was talking about.
But somebody could also say, okay, I don't own that, but I got my college through 4 years of Duke University from my 9 to 5 job that you so-called say is a slave work. So
Well,
it's almost like it's almost a give and take because you can't knock somebody that's doing something for themselves. Granted, they don't own it, but would you rather me do this or sell crack or rob your kid?
and
It's
that's
not.
what
I mean,
what he was
it doesn't
his
come down to that though.
yeah,
And like I
yeah,
feel like if you're going out there and you want to do something that you could pass down, that you could own, that you say like, this is me. What Dame was saying was like, yo, like you having a boss. He was saying what he said was equivalent to calling another man daddy.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a
Yeah.
superhero to my kids. He was like, if I'm in the room, he asked Envy, he was like, if you're in the room, are you superhero to your kids? Envy was like, yeah. He's like, what happens when your boss comes in the room? Are you still a superhero? And Envy was like, yeah. Dame was like, no, because if your boss tells you to do something, you got to do it. So basically, he was saying like, yo, like somebody's still above you, and I get why people like they hear that message and like, yo, what are you talking about?
It's
But
hard for people to swallow that message.
yeah.
but I think an example that he tried to say was like, yo, 10 years ago, what were you doing? You were on the radio? And like he was just saying like, I guess he was trying to say like growth and like not doing the same thing, trying to get out of like the 9 to 5, the same hustle. Like
Yeah.
if Envy was like, yo, like I own my own car company or something, that'd have been a different story.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like, kind of like what for Ant, like you're talking about with the athletes. Like Chris Rock had the best bit about that. He was like, he was like, Shaq's wealthy, but the person that signed Shaq's check is sorry, Shaq is rich,
right?
but the
Yeah.
person that's signing his check is wealthy, and that's the part that Dame was talking about. Like, he was kind of like,
But why
there's
worry
two-
about that though?
But that's that. But Dame's whole point
Because
was
he's
like,
trying to say
two-
we should own it. We should own the
Yes.
team.
That's what,
Like-
and then Dame was
But-
kind of like what people don't realize, and this is the part that he was like he always talks about this, like the whole being a boss thing and all that, and everyone's like, well, look at Dame, he like went bankrupt or he did this and blah blah blah, but the mentality of it is different. It's like, are you like? There's going to be drones that have to work every day and do that. Then there's the people that manage the drones, and then there's the people that own the drones. And that's basically what he's talking about. He's like, there comes to a point where some people have to stop being drones and start being the person that runs the whole shit. But not everyone has that mentality, and that's the part that Dame kept thinking.
Well, you know what? When Dane Jobs was getting jiggy with it and all of that, he should have been making that message 10 years ago. Don't come on now and become Martin Luther King after you done fucking made videos exploiting women's and now I'm cause you that's the reason why Envy got tight. Like, who are you to come on and say we need to be this, be this? But at the end of the day, motherfucker, you was out here exploiting women and all kind of shit for years. So don't now when shit gets your pockets get a little tight, you wanna make a message. Nah, sometimes I'll be reading past bullshit because
And no, but see,
you can't
that's the
sit here
point.
and just feed me
That's the
15
part.
years.
That's
You can't feed me 15 years of dumb shit and then today you want to say
And see,
you
that's
gotta
the part
own something.
that in
Why
our
you didn't tell me
community
this
that we mess
20
up
years
on.
ago when you
And-
made Rockefeller?
But no, that's what I'm
I think
saying.
he's
Like,
owned
this
it.
is the
That's
part.
hypocritical.
This is the part that we mess up in our community. Like, we are always in that mentality. Like, oh man, you didn't do nothing. You should have done that last time. Da 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 da. People like the white folks don't talk about that. You don't sit there and give shit to someone like Mark Zuckerberg for not doing something 10 years ago. Only in our community where it's like, oh, now you're trying to talk down to me because of what I'm doing now. It's like, dude, what he's saying is you need to have more entrepreneurs. So it's like, it's true, he might be going ups and down, but like this is the problem in black community. We always get into this high horse. Oh, what have you done lately? What have you done this? It's like, dude, that's not about that. He's saying we have to have an entrepreneurial idea. Don't always be like, yo, man, I'm just gonna get that check. I'm gonna go to MTA. I'm gonna get that,
But
work
don't
on
say
this
that
and work that.
But don't
He-
say that to Envy though.
He,
who's
he said
established.
he said jobs are for
Don't
jobs
say
are
that
for the lazy people
to
who
Envy
don't want to
who's
invest in
established.
themselves.
Envy's established.
And
Yeah,
and
but-
it's relative. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Pope.
Well,
But the difference, what you're thinking, like Envy is established because he has a career.
He
in
could get
radio.
fired.
But he's not established because he doesn't own his own business. Like he isn't self-sufficient in the sense that like his work depends on him. Like whatever he make, he's not eating what he's killing. Like he's not making his own destiny in a certain sense.
Well,
The people who
I don't
hired
know
him.
all of Envy's endeavors, so I can't say that.
No, I can't either. And I'm just speaking in the point of view that the conversation was put in from the interview.
Yeah.
Well, if
That-
Envy had
Yeah.
something, he should have presented it to Dame Dash. But just like Pope was saying, like somebody could come, Envy could say
True.
something. Envy could say something on the radio tomorrow, and it's controversial. The bosses could be like, "Yo, Envy, you suspended. You know what? We thought about it again. You're fired." That's a chunk of his check that's gone now. So
Yeah.
he still has his DJ gigs that he does. But what if DJs are like, "Yo, we don't want to rock with you no more"? So it's slowly like, all right, like you're working for other people basically.
I take it to another level. Let's say right now, Clear Channel owns Power 105.
Yeah.
They could just decide tomorrow to make that shit into a country radio station, and that show is gone. Like he has no job no more, yo. That's what Dame is trying to talk about.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with the way he delivered his message, but his message makes sense to me. Yo.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the difference between what's going on
So
right
then
now.
maybe that's
like,
a dick pull.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Cut a voice, Ant.
No,
Nah,
sorry,
guys,
this is a good topic. I'm sorry. Now y'all can finish. I'll wait till the end.
No, but what it is like
there's a video. I remember Dwayne.
Go ahead, Ed.
You set me up. Now finish, Kim.
No, wait. Who's gonna talk?
Look, so this is what it is. That's what it is. That's part of the reason why that people get frustrated with the African American community, because we have the dollars to do stuff, but there's not enough people that have that entrepreneurial spirit to capitalize on it. So you have, this like even like a barbershop or a beauty salon, those are all like, small businesses, people like taking ownership of it, trying to provide stuff their own. But what he was saying was like not enough people in our community do that. And so when someone presents that idea, they're automatically vilified as like, yo, why are you talking down to me? I work hard, I got my check, I got my career, da 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 da. And like, it's not about that. It's like, you got to go to take the step further. And so not enough people like take those risks to do that, like small business, and to start owning their own stuff, as opposed to just being like, oh, I'm working at like we work at BET. It's a big company. It's under Viacom. It's awesome. We get a check. But then is that it? Is that our career? Or are we using what we work at a 9 to 5 to funnel what we really want to do and then break off and do our own shit? Like not everyone is of that mentality, and more need to be like that, because like you said, like Pope was talking about, if Clear Channel decided to cut Power 105 right now, and it's a country station, all them dudes are screwed, and they'll just go look for another job to do it. And that's the reason why people, when this recession that happened and people got laid off, there was two minds. It's, oh my God, I lost my job. What am I going to do? I'm so scared. Or, oh shit, you know what? I'm going to start my own shit, and then keep it moving,
Yeah, and that's what we did.
But to piggyback on what you just said, Cam, how we know, just like you said, people use a major company to help better themselves. Dame did the same thing when he came up. It wasn't like he started this business by himself. He had to come up off another label to get his brand up.
He didn't though.
So
he didn't.
He never used no help whatsoever. This was all Damon Dash created from the beginning.
It's not that he. The way you're saying it is not exactly how it went. He actually explained that in the interview as well, like how Rockefeller Records put 50-50 money with Def Jam to make that partnership. It was a partnership.
So who are you to say anything when you had help from another label? It was 50-50. So it wasn't like you came on with 100% your money. You needed the big man.
But he flipped it. It's basically what he did. So he brought his own money to the table. He didn't bring anybody else's money, and he flipped it, and he just kept on flipping it. Is what he was saying.
Yeah, they came to them. They made a deal with them. They used this shit, and during that time, Rockefeller was the biggest part of Def Jam. They were bringing more money into Def Jam than any other label. And when they were done, they left, and they got their money, and they made more money off of it.
Yeah, and
so I guess I'm just spending.
Well, that's the round like Rockefeller did that. Cash Money did that when they signed their deal. That deal was bananas. Like they got to keep so much of their money that was never unheard of at that time. No limit. Same with them. So it's like, I think the thing he was saying again with Rockefeller and those type of things, he was like, yo, we actually came in and was like, we're putting up our own money to do stuff, and we're partnering with somebody else, but we still get to keep most of the dollars. And so he's like, again, that goes back to that mentality of like ownership of your stuff. Like, right, like now, Ja Rule doesn't own his stuff, or, the Beatles, they didn't even own their stuff. Michael Jackson bought the whole Beatle catalog, and it's the Beatles music, and Michael Jackson's like, oh, I like that, I'm gonna buy it. So he kind of goes back to, again, talking about that entrepreneurial spirit of owning your shit, and then you are the boss of you. But the part that I didn't like is like he he basically was shitting on people that had a 9 to 5, as opposed to acknowledging that not everyone has the entrepreneurial spirit, and that was the part that I think people that like Envy was getting tight about. He was like, like almost marginalizing him, like everything that Envy was doing, like he has his own kid and stuff that he's doing. He got cars, he got this, but the way Dame was putting it, he was marginalizing Envy's whole like being basically, as opposed to acknowledging like, yo man, not everybody can be a boss. So some people got to be drones, some people got to manage the drone, and some people are the ones that makes that.
So maybe I got mad because he came on his show, and you trying to play me on my show about what I'm not doing.
But that's not Envy's show.
But the Breakfast Club is part of is his show. He's a part of a 3-man team, and that's his show. So it's almost like instead of coming on saying you should be a boss, why don't you come on just say, yo, congratulations, you got young kids aspiring to get where you at? Because you got to start from somewhere. You can't just come on the radio and say, yo, own a building tomorrow. Motherfucker, how do you own a building? Tell me to go to school to take business, and you can't just say we all got to own something. Teach me first.
And that's the thing.
You can't preach it without teaching me how to do it.
That's not his job to teach you though.
So then shut up then. So then shut up.
How's he gonna come on and tell people like how he's just telling you this is where you need to be? Like this is what he's promoting. Like you look at him and this is what he's doing. How you gonna come in individually and tell people, yo, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do? If you want to own a building then you find the means to do it.
But if you're gonna,
you don't have to wait for Dame Dash to tell you to do it. You go out there and you find the resources.
You call me a slave. You call me a slave on TV, so teach me how not to become a slave in your eyes. Or what you see as an everyday slavery thing. That's what I'm saying.
That's my biggest issue. That's my biggest issue with Dame in this whole interview is that he was preaching being a boss, which I respect and I agree with. But at the same time, he was saying like all his people that's on his team are all bosses. But at the same time, I don't feel like he was treating his team that he was there with bosses, and nor did he say at any point that he was teaching the people that are around him to be bosses. He called them bosses. He made that point that like his team, everyone around him was team like Mook and the other dude with the beard and the hat. And
he's like, you ever had a job? And he was like, you ever had a job? That's what he asked him, and he was like, nope.
My question is though, like that's what I was saying before. Is like, yo, how can you say this is your team and we're all bosses, but you didn't even really introduce the dudes who were rocking with you? Only reason why people know who Murder Mook was is because he was Murder Mook.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we're listening to that interview for Dame Dash. No one's listening to Murder Mook and the guy with the beard. We don't even know his name.
But my thing is when Jay used to go up to these shows and Dame be with him and Blake be with him, we know exactly who's with them on the stage. And I'm not saying Jay is the perfect person, but I'm saying when most people go up to do that shit, they rep their whole team. They make sure you know who everybody is. Since that interview, we still call that dude with the beard and the hat. Like no one knows who that guy is.
But yeah, in retrospect, that is true. But I guarantee if it was the first time where Dame Dash came up there with Jay and no one knew who Bleak was, we'd be like, who's that kid with the hat turned to the side?
And I guarantee they talked about Bleak because Bleak was on his first single almost. Yeah. He was on that you know this song I'm talking about. Come on.
I guess Cam is almost like instead of just talking about it, show me how to do it. Yeah, don't come on and boast and say we gotta be bosses. Yo, show me how to be a boss then, man. Yeah, if you can't say I don't know how, you're not gonna show me, then shut up because it's almost like you're bossing yourself and you're making me feel like I ain't shit.
But I think that's the thing.
You gotta be a boss. Yeah. That's like somebody coming as Diesel on the show. Yo, y'all need to work out. You gonna be like, show me how to work out?
Yes.
Why would you?
If you're gonna call me a fat pork, and you say you need to work out, show me how.
So you can't get the resources. So you can't get the resources. Is what you're telling me. You can't get the resources to go to the gym. You can't get the resources to go to YouTube. You can't go to the library. You can't buy health magazines. Is what you're telling me. We need the guy to tell you need to curl this 3 times, Anthony.
I didn't say
curl
me.
This 5 times, Anthony.
I said not me. Certain people need to be pulled. Not everybody's
listen, if you're a boss, there's no need for you to be handheld. Like if you're trying to do an internship, that's a different story. I'm learning underneath you, but if for me to walk up to somebody and tell them this is what you need to do, like you need to go and learn on your own.
And the thing is though, Ant, like you're talking about someone should give you mentorship and tutorials and shit like that. Like if you want to learn and you're a boss, quote unquote, like that's where you're trying to head. Like you seek out the people who can do those things for you. they may not be the best person for that.
Hell no.
But if you want to learn how to do whatever it is, you'll go out on your own. You won't wait for somebody to come get you out your job and tell you should go do this shit. Like he's saying, if you're a boss, go get it. And you shouldn't strive to work for somebody else. You should have your own shit and be the captain of your own ship or your destiny and not wait for someone else to take you to the promised land. Like you can walk your ass there.
Yeah,
how do you get there?
That's the part that people forget.
And if your question if your question is how do you get there, it's your job to figure that out. It's not my job to tell you. You can ask me, but your job is to figure it out on your own. You find your own path to get there, yo. People didn't teach me. I went out and learned shit on my own through all the trials and tribulations that I went through my life.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to.
But how many times we always talk about is the families that got to teach these young kids about owning businesses and not just going to a 4-year college and calling it that's part of life. It's all about being educated.
And he talked about that though.
If you're teaching your kids just to go to school and that's the way of life, then you got somebody coming to Damon Jazz saying, yo, you're a fool, you need to be a boss. Well, hold on a second. My mother and father told me if I go to school, I should be okay in life. So that's what I'm trying to say. Some people are not educated enough to know what it is to become a boss. They just got it as I'm just going to go to school, work for somebody, get a good paying job, and I'm content.
And
but
then
I
die.
got somebody calling me on saying I'm failing, but my kids are in school. I'm good. I'm not talking for me. I'm just saying.
I hear where you're coming from.
Some people don't want to hear you need to become a boss. Why? My kids is good. I'm happy. Granted, I don't own the company, but I got stocks. I got this. I have that. I'm comfortable. So you can't.
I understand where you're coming from, man. I hear what you're saying, but I don't subscribe to that in any shape or form. Because growing up, my mother told me the same shit. Get a job. Make sure you have a pension. Make sure you got insurance, and it's fucking work with that. And that was her mentality because her mother told her that. And it's passed down from generation to generation.
That's what Cam was mentioning with the black community. You're right.
And now at the stage I'm at, like I've learned over the years through the things that I've done, the jobs I've had, the adventures I've taken through my career, that's not the path to go. Like I don't believe in that shit. And I don't teach my daughter that. My daughter she'll be 12 in June and she's already tried to start 3 businesses. Like I don't teach the idea of just having a job and that's okay for you. Like it's not a way, and that's we have to break that chain.
And Dame Dash mentioned that too, Pope, because like you said, he was talking about his son. He's like, my son owns his own shop. He's selling his own cookies. He's like, I took my daughter to China. Like they're post up in front of my shop selling their products. He's like, can they go to your radio station and do that? And he was like, no. So it's just like he's showing his children how to do it, and I mean he can't show you, not you personally, Ant. But he is setting an example. Like going to college is not for everybody. All you're doing is ensuring that you're going to be paying debt for the rest of your life, most likely. So if you're going out there, parents have to realize you can't always tell your kid be a doctor and lawyer. Like figure out what they want to do and push them towards that. And that's what Pope is saying he's doing with his daughter. Like if she wants trying to open 3 businesses, he's not going to say. He's going to say make sure you understand your homework. But then at the end of the day, like. You want to encourage that passion. You want to be like, yo, make sure you go to school.
And that's kind of like with the Republican view of the whole the raising of the minimum wage. And so I remember this lady was on like MSNBC talking about it, and she worked at Papa John's, and she was protesting with the people to raise the minimum wage. And the first thing she says is like, yeah, I've been working at Papa John's for 7 years, making $8.75 an hour, and I have 2 kids. And I'm like, wait a minute, you have 2 kids? You've been working at Papa John's for 7 years? Like, wait. How does that happen? Like, did you have no other ambitions? Did you have no opportunities? Like, I have all these questions, and a lot of times, especially in, like, again, I go back to our community stuff, is you're right. It's the get a job, make sure it's a good job, and then make sure you get your pension, and blah, blah, blah. And they're completely comfortable with that, which is cool. But that mentality is not going to cut it anymore in this economy. And sorry.
The counter that, Cam, though, for what you're talking about in terms of, like, the minimum wage shit and how someone can have a job at Papa John's for 7 years. She has 2 kids, so she really can't take that
space to do.
She's raising 2 kids. She's raising 2 kids by herself, so there's not the opportunity for her to just be like, you know what, fuck this job. I'm just gonna stop working here and go find a better job, because she can't do that. She got to keep the lights on. She got to keep food on the table. She got to keep a house together. Like that's not an opportunity for her.
I don't mean to get too deep, but I think all of this stems from this all happened 400 years ago, man. This is all a product of slavery coming back. Call it an excuse. It's not an excuse, but we're programmed to, like what I just said, to just make it. It's all survival instinct now. Get a job, go to school. Parents right now is not gonna tell no kids, yo, you gotta own something, because they struggle their whole life. So all they know is to struggle and to make it and persevere. So of course they're gonna teach that to their kids, and only that. So
But
it's not like it's sometimes it's not even people's fault. It's just a product of their environment.
I don't believe that, yo. I don't.
No,
To a
I
certain
mean, no,
Because you
to,
just said, you just said your mom just told
No,
you, she
I
showed you a way for what she know.
Mhm.
So it was up to you to say, hold on, I followed that route.
I'm
That's
not gonna
not
pass
the
it down
route.
to my
I'm
daughter.
not gonna pass it down to my daughter.
Yeah.
But
That's
that,
and that.
but that proves my point that it's not a product of my environment, because my environment was that type of thinking. My environment was so many other dark things that I didn't follow down. So
Yeah.
it's not really a product of my environment. It's about me wanting something better for the next generation behind me. And
Yeah.
that's the other thing that Dane was saying. Like, he doesn't work for his first name; he works for his last name, because he wants his name to be passed on to his son and to his daughter, so they can have a better life going forward for them. And that's what you're supposed to do. If you're a parent, you're supposed to be building so your children have a better life than you had.
That's true. You're
Yeah,
right.
but
100% right on that.
not everybody's gonna break the mold. Like you mentioned your experiences. Like you said, it got passed down from your mom's mom, from
Yeah.
your mom's mom. You know what I mean? Like it's just certain things where you broke the mold, but in a systematic environment,
Exactly.
come April 15th, people in the project's about to put some rims on the Escalade. So
Period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
true.
That's true.
it the system does play a role in it too. Like Ann is saying, like there's certain people you're in these neighborhoods. Like walk on Cam's block. Good luck finding a salad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're gonna find
Word, D. That's facts.
I'm not saying that there isn't any systematic shit. I'm not saying that. I'm not stupid. I know the facts. I know how things are built in this country, how it puts the black man down. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, though, we're in an age where, like, oh, that's the way things are, and damn it, I gotta just struggle through it. That's not an excuse to me anymore, because you have every opportunity to change your story. Like, before, in the past, it was like, oh, I can't do it because I couldn't get the education. I can't do this. But you can go online and learn anything possible you want on YouTube. They got a class for all that shit on YouTube, yo, and
I
that's free.
agree, but
You
then
got books all over the place.
I
that you
could
can learn
counter
anything,
it.
yo.
I could counter with that lady who has 2 kids. Why don't you go tell her
Yeah.
that, Pope?
Yeah,
Exactly. Tell her that situation.
I would tell her that she could do that, because
You don't know how much time you said she has, like you said, like she's raising 2 kids. She doesn't have opportunity to
So-
get out of that
all
environment.
right. So, like, I explain like this, yo. Say she has 2 kids,
Yeah.
and she's working her job. Hopefully, let's say she's able to get the daytime shift,
Yeah.
right? So she takes her kids to school. Maybe she could work it off, and then she gets home with them, and she's able to bring them to school. Like, that's the perfect scenario, and I'm not even gonna try and deny it's not, right? So now she's at home at night with her kids. After she puts her kids to bed, what is she doing? Is she watching Scandal, or is she studying to get better, so she can find a better job?
We don't know the situation though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where the drive and the change can be, because you have the opportunity to do the thing that you want. It's what you do with it. Yeah, you can make. I made the excuse earlier that it's hard for her. Yeah, definitely it is hard for her. But if she wanted to, she could change it. That's my thing. That's
Pretty
what
much, D. You just gotta buckle up, suck it up, and go and
But
persevere no matter the situation.
it comes down to what Dame Dash is saying, which is why I don't disagree with it. If you want to be a boss, it's in you.
yeah.
So you're like you, Pope. You broke the barrier. You broke the system. That
Yeah.
you're not following what everybody else is doing, and that's what his message was. So maybe she doesn't want to be a boss.
And
Like
also
Cam was
too,
saying, maybe Cam would make it $7.
and also
Right.
too, like everyone talks about the system and this and that, and so I was talking to my friend that teaches in Brooklyn, and he's a very revolution person. We get to blow up the system and start it all over. And I was like, that's awesome. Let's blow up the system. So we blow up the system. What happens now? He's like, well, I mean, we'll make it fair or something. I'm like, exactly. And every time you talk about blowing up the system, who's the first people that get hurt? Everyone that's poor and barely making it. So it's like,
Yep.
and my
Yep.
thing is, it's like and this is a very conservative view. The reason why those dudes are still conservative and they always want to keep their money and all that is because they're like, okay, well, this is the system. Let me learn it and let me figure out how I can get over on the system. And you have all those like Pope was talking about the internet and this and that, so you can understand that. And that's kind of what Dame was talking about. He was just like, the tools are there for you to do your own stuff. And so the one thing I disagree with him, like we were talking about earlier, is he didn't give credit to people that were just rolling with the system and they're completely fine with that. You know, the people that do the cogs in the machine. And like again, not everyone's going to be an entrepreneur. You need the cogs because they're going to do the stuff that we don't want to do as the bosses. But
Basically.
But again, it goes back to that system, and too many people want to just be like, "Well, why are you talking down to me?" As opposed to, that's interesting. Let me go research my own shit and understand what you were talking about, as opposed to just saying it.
I guess because somebody done bust their ass to get to where they need to get, and then all of a sudden somebody telling them it ain't good enough.
But in your heart of all hearts,
Yeah,
if you're content, if you're the one who bust your ass and you're happy, like Envy sounded like he was happy where he was at.
Yeah,
so I don't think that message goes to him.
And that's
I think I don't know. I kind of felt like it was a little bit of both. Like I felt like he was content with his life the way it was going, and he thought he was doing good. And then I think when Dame put him in that position, he started to think like, man, maybe I'm not doing as good as I should be doing.
But that's not right.
Make some changes.
That's not right. That's
not
right. That's because you're bringing down somebody who has success.
You're not bringing it down.
Maybe
you're
it's inspiration to him. Maybe it's inspiration for him. Maybe he's like, yo, maybe I need to make a difference. Maybe I need to make a change.
Own your own stuff. How is that bringing you down? That's letting you know, like, hey, there's more to life than you just working here 9 to 5 for them. Like, you could open your own radio station.
Well, the way Dane was saying,
I guess I'm thinking as we as black men come a long way, and for somebody to make it as far as Envy is a success, and is something that he can talk about in his testimony. But I guess
he's going to keep on making money for Clear Channel. That's what he's basically doing. He's not making money. He's making money for Envy, but he's only making a portion of what Clear Channel's making.
Yeah. And I think also too, like, goes back to pride. You know, like Ant was saying, like, you know, Dame was wrong to come in and like trample another man's success. But instead of like for Envy, instead of looking at Dame as someone trying to shit on him, it could have been like, okay, hold on, so you're challenging me to do better than what I'm already doing now. All right, challenge accepted.
True.
I'm gonna see you 6 months, and then I'm gonna show you up. But that's the part about our community that we don't do. We're too busy tearing each other down, kind of like what Dame was doing, as opposed to listening to each other for understanding, as opposed to communication.
Exactly.
And that's
it's tough. It's tough. It's like a catch-22 because the way Dame talks is aggressive.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And
Harlem shit.
When it got to a certain point, like when they thought they called each other stupid, they had to apologize. So like sometimes the message sometimes you get passionate, and like we were talking about earlier, that's the Harlem in them. Like they might be helping you, but there's a snap behind it. Like, yo, you watch your ears. Instead of saying
between the lines.
Instead of saying you didn't hear what I said, they're gonna say something crazy like, yo, clean your ears out or something. And then from there you already feel offended. But you just gotta view the message and let them Harlem dudes be them Harlem dudes, yo.
At the end of the day, they both communicate with each other, and they both gotta see. You both know what's on their mind. But at the end of the day, nobody could be mad at each other because I told you how I felt. You told me how you felt. Now, where did we go from here?
Yeah, like Pope said, I think it opened Envy's eyes towards the end.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a good dialogue. Like, I laughed because you didn't hear nothing from Charlamagne or Angela Yee. Angela Yee was silent
because it was real. Because it got real.
And Charlamagne was quiet because Charlamagne's like, I am a good employee. I'm
he tried to act stupid. Like Envy asked the Jay-Z question, and I think that's where Dame got upset.
Yeah, that was the beginning of like him getting tight.
Yeah, from there he was riled up.
And I don't blame Dame for being mad about that shit.
Yeah, so this is decades ago. He said he hasn't seen the man only twice in 15 years. Like, why are we still talking about
man?
Yeah, why is he still getting shine off my interview?
Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, yo, you didn't ask him about me when he was up here.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I would get pissed, yo. That's if you argue with somebody and they keep asking you the same question over and over after you answer it. It's like, yo, we had this conversation.
How'd you guys meet? Why would you ask me this?
Yeah.
How did you and Jay-Z meet? Like, what? Like, yeah, that's not a topic. I'm here to promote my movie.
How many times have we had that conversation?
Word. He's 100% right.
He was like, you know the answer to this question. Why are you asking me?
It was a different radio station. Like, okay.
Oh, man. Nah, I like that. I mean, I think like folks like Dame and Kanye, even with their like brashness and sometimes dumbness, it's needed to rile that up because we do get real complacent in like some of the things that we're doing, and we don't really try to push things or go farther than that. Like, we're content with like, you know, just being at, you know, the #1 morning show in the country or something like that, and not doing anything further than that or doing things like, you know, bigger. And I think even with Kanye with his missteps that he does, I appreciate that he shoots that like so far out there just to do it, just to see if he can do it. Sometimes he fails, sometimes he does good, but at least he does it, and a lot of people don't do that anymore.
Whenever I think of them, I always think of this one line. Me and Dame cool, we assholes.
But it's true, man. Everyone hates the assholes because those are the ones that like either try to speak the truth or just don't care.
They make the tough decisions, man. That's other people can't make, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and they speak up.
Yeah.
And
It's almost like our podcast. We'll say stuff that people are, I guess, afraid to talk about, or maybe it's get too real and people just shut the hell up. So, I guess it's damn pause. Shit, sorry.
What did you say?
I don't even know what he said. I just
Pope
heard
said
pause.
Pope said pause, so I'm gonna just say pause because I don't know.
Pause.
Pause. Pope person pause.
Pause.
I just like with you.
Pause.
All right, well, I'm so conscious now. Pause. My
Pause.
fault. Pause. Yo, I'm sorry. I cannot wait till they end this portion. Like, you know how Sling
Dude,
gets out of
let's
style.
start in Harlem, yo.
When is it gonna
That's
get
not
played out?
Yo, I've been saying pause since '97, and it didn't hit the mainstream until the 2000s, and that's because of Harlem. Harlem started pause, yo.
When is it gonna end?
Never.
When is it gonna end?
Never.
Almost 20 years, and we're about to have an anniversary party.
I can't even say, yo, I'm about to eat some spaghetti and meatballs, man. Yo, my nigga.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. God damn.
I'm about to eat this sausage sandwich. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
exactly. Sausage.
My nigga. That's crazy. Yeah.
You need to get over this homophobia.
I'm trying, man.
Should we even touch on the girl who got jumped, or should we just wrap this?
We
Wrap
can
this
wrap
up,
it.
'cause
We can
that
wrap
was a good.
Yeah, let's keep it positive.
Okay.
Should
We-
have
we
started
have-
with that.
We have a good positive debate or heart like this in a minute, so yeah, we gonna end it like this one.
All right, let's do final words. First up is going to be Ant.
I just hope everybody here, people who listen to the show, anybody who needs to hear this, please let them play this because at the end of the day, all of us have some great points, and at the end, man, you got to work for yourself. That's the only way you're gonna get what you want when you want it without no bullshit. So good show, fellas.
Nice. I'll go next. Yeah, man, I really liked what Dame was saying, even if it was super aggressive. I think more people need to like take ownership and take the reins of their own destiny as opposed to just getting the check and then being complacent and you spending it on like more material things. Like, yo, man, we have the creativity to kind of do whatever you want to do, and there's opportunities now that people can go ahead and do it. And so I think more and more, especially African Americans, we kind of have to like take the reins and just do that, as opposed to just being complacent, working at your job, and just rocking that. So the tools are out there, folks. Go find them. Dwayne.
My final word is more of a stay woke final word. I was looking at another episode of Empire, and like I kind of like sat back and kind of watched the show as a whole, and I was watching Centric. I was watching like the old school like Family Matters, Cosby Show,
Yeah.
and like I just feel like Empire is definitely not a show for like anybody under a certain age to look at. Like I feel like in my mind, see, I'm always with my Illuminati thing. I just feel like sometimes like portraying black families in a certain light is great. It makes great TV, but at the same time, like people across the middle of America in certain areas don't deal with us, or people in
Yeah.
Europe don't see us all the time.
Yep.
So I just want people to know that's not exactly how a family acts. Granted, it's a TV show, but when people see me when I go to Europe, they think I can rap or that I could do a 360 dunk.
Yeah.
So you might think I'm exaggerating on like how people view certain things on TV, but I just feel like we need to get eventually back to a part where we're represented in a better light. I love Empire. I'm watching the finale hopefully on Wednesday. But
Great
at the
show.
same time, it is not a fair representation of the black community and the black family.
Yeah.
At
That's
the
my
same-
final.
Sad.
My thing is though, this is not my final word, but
No, yeah.
just think about
Jump in.
Empire. Yo, Empire is a fucking TV show about a family within entertainment and music business. Just the same way I look at it like the Kardashian show or any other like these reality TV shows. Like Ant was saying like 2 episodes ago when we talked about Kardashians, like they live in a whole different world. So I don't even, and I understand where you're coming
But
from.
you're an adult watching
Yeah.
it. Hope.
Yeah, but it's an adult show. I think it's like TV 14 is the rating. It's not teen.
Just
It's
like
not, it's not
like
E for
Sam was
everybody.
saying, and yo, anybody has the tools to do anything. So trust me, like with the 15 million people that are watching that, it's not just adults.
Oh yeah, I
Freaking
know.
23 to
not all black
34.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hopefully the families that are
I'm just
watching.
saying the representation, like when they show shows like Love and Hip Hop, Black Ink Crew, like I feel like that's how we're represented now. So my whole thing is like, I just feel like they're to people who don't, they probably not listening to this podcast, but to people who don't see the other side and know like people like us, like I feel like
Yeah,
this
they
is
can
not
watch
us. This is not-
Blackish.
It's just TV.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, Blackish is another family that's not necessarily how most black families work either.
Which is good.
So it's like,
Yeah, but it's spun in a more positive light, I guess, and it's breaking down stereotypes. Like this one, you
yeah,
got gay dudes breakdancing, people having orgies. Like I'm like, all right. I mean, some of us maybe had an orgy, but not all of us on this podcast.
We ain't gonna say no names.
Oh no,
man, not
Ah,
mentioning any
snitch.
names.
I am not dry snitching.
I snitched tonight.
All right,
Snitch by
Pope.
association.
But yeah, that's my final word. It just caught my eye, man. I just wanted to say something about it.
Basically, my final word is just, I don't know, be more positive in the things that you do. I want the black community to kind of challenge the stereotypes that we've been living with. I think we make excuses many times for the things that are happening and not taking that next step to become better than the past generations. Like just because it's been your story your whole life, it shouldn't continuously be that. Like you should look to try to be better going forward. Like don't at least try to be better than your last generation in your family tree, whether it's for your kids or not. Like you should try to be better to make yourself and the people coming after you better. You know?
Amen.
Unless you're Dennis Michael Jordan, you ain't making $1 billion.
I don't care what book you read.
Yeah. Good luck in that family. Your dad's Warren Buffett. I'm sorry.
Word.
Yo,
Word. Certain
Warren Buffett's
things,
like,
it's just reality, man.
yo, Warren Buffett's like, you're not getting none of my money, kids. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Yo, but
Bill
that's
Gates.
dope-
I'm sorry, man.
yeah,
Sorry,
that's
Bill.
dope shit with Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. They both said when they're gone, they send a little bit of money, and then the rest of that shit's going to charity. Like that shit is awesome to me.
A little bit is probably $2 billion, but yeah.
But they said that they're not leaving none of the money to their kids. I mean, granted, like Buffett's kids and Gates, they're doing things like they're already like kind of established on their own right. But he was like, I'm not doing the legacy thing about giving them a bill when I leave. Like, nope, they got to do their own thing.
That's rough.
And one final thing.
Yeah.
This is episode 99, the final episode for season 4. And we're starting on season 5, episode 100, yo. I'd like to say congratulations to you, my brothers. We've took a long walk.
Milestone.
Long walk.
Nobody here to see you, Otis.
We're about to hit that syndication.
Popus.
No,
So
man.
with that said, y'all, new season, new things. Let's go. Keep
Nice,
on
man.
pushing.
All right, this is the Table Truth, and we are out.
Nobody coming to me, Popus.
You can listen and download to all of our episodes of The Table of Truth on iTunes. Just search The Table of Truth podcast.